Hi friends, welcome to EXCELMAP. We are providing training on MIS reporting, data analytics and Macros VBA automation also. In that, we'll teach complete advanced Excel, Macros VBA, MS SQL and other reporting tools also. Myself, Srinivas Reddy. I'm a Microsoft Office specialist expert in Excel as well as in other Office applications also. And I'm a Microsoft Office specialist master and I'm a Microsoft certified trainer as well as Microsoft certified professional also. First, what is advanced Excel? By using advanced Excel, we'll do reporting, data analysis and dashboards also. In this, we'll generate and maintain the reports by using Excel, and we'll do the data analysis, that is forecasting, comparing the data also by using Excel, and we'll create the dashboards by using multiple charts. We'll create a dashboard for presentation purpose by using Excel. So this is the main purpose of Excel. We'll do data reporting, analysis and dashboards for presentation purpose. Now in this session completely I'm going to discuss about Macros VBA and how to do automation by using Macros VBA. Friends, please watch till the end so that you will get complete knowledge on what is Macros VBA and how to do automation by using Macros VBA. Before starting that, first we need to know what is Macros VBA and why we require Macros VBA. There is one person is perfect in Excel. He can do everything in the Excel by using all the formulas and functions. But there is a problem. His boss given many tasks to that person like updating sales reports, creating budget files and consolidate forecast, like many other works he need to do within a less time. But that person having no time. Till the end of the day, the person need to complete all the works. What are the works given by his boss? But what kind of work he is doing daily? It is like copy and paste, doing same work again and again manually. So there is a lot of time waste and the works are not completing properly. So he need to complete all the works very quickly and without doing work repeatedly. Then he wants to learn Macros VBA to do the work automation. Instead of doing a work manually again and again, he will do the automation. So what we can do by using Macros VBA? So we'll connect with all the databases like MS Access, SQL Server and Oracle databases also. And we'll do automate mails like Gmails and Outlook. We'll extract the data from the websites and we'll convert the Excel files to Word, PPT and PDF also. And we'll create the user forms, applications, and we'll create the reminders also by using this Macros VBA. Now first we'll see what is Macros VBA. This Macros VBA both are same. Writing the code is nothing but macros, where we are writing inside the VBA Editor, Visual Basic for Applications. Inside the VBA Editor we'll write the macro code. So that's why we call it as Macros VBA. This Macros VBA both are same. So what is VBA? We'll do minimize manual working hours. By using VBA, we can minimize manual working hours. We can reduce the manual working hours by using this Macros VBA. So first of all, we need to enable the developer tab. So by default in the Excel, you can see the tabs like Home, Insert, Page Layout, Formulas, Review, Data, View. But there is no developer tab by default. So first we need to enable the developer tab. There only you can find this Visual Basic. From there you can do all the things. So first of all in the file, go to options. There is an option called customize the ribbon in the left side, and there you can select the developer tab. Then say OK, so that you can see the developer tab in the Excel workbook. So first, once after enabling the developer tab, you can find there is a code group in the developer tab. So in the tab there is ribbon. In the ribbon there are groups. So in that groups there are many options. First part is code group in the developer tab. First, in that there is an option called Visual Basic. So by using Alt plus F11, you can open the VBA Editor. So there itself only you can write the macros, you can edit and you can run, you can debug, everything you can do in the Visual Basic Editor. And what is a macro? Macro is a program. It's a series of related steps to achieve the given task. It can be recorded, written, and can be used in all open workbooks by default. Once after creating a macro or else recording a macro, that macro you can execute in any sheet and in any workbook by default. And all the recorded macros, if you wanted to see, then you go for an option called macros, but it is called as view macros. By using Alt plus F8, you can see all the list of recorded and created macros from the all open workbooks. Now we'll see these few options in the developer tab. First, go to the Excel. Here, first we need to enable the developer tab, but in my workbook, in my Excel workbook, already there is a developer tab. Just go to the File, Options. There in the left side, there is a Customize ribbon. You can select the developer tab here, then say OK. Once after enabling the developer tab, you can see this developer tab ribbon. And in this ribbon, there are groups like code group, add-ins, controls. But first, we'll discuss about this code group. So there are many options, like first one is Visual Basic, just now we discussed, and this is called macros, view macros. There itself, you can see all the list of recorded and created macros from all the open workbooks. And there is a record macro. So how to do the record macro and how to execute the macro, we'll see. There is another option in the code group is record a macro. So it is enable the user to record the work being done in Excel. So what kind of work we're doing in the Excel, everything you can record. And behind that, VBA code will be generated. By using that VBA code, you can execute the work again and again, how many times you require and whenever you want. Then while recording the macro, first of all, you need to give the macro name, but there are few rules over there for a macro name. First one is maximum. It should be 255 characters. The macro name should be max 255 characters. And it should be a single word without any spaces. And first character must be an alphabet without any numeric or else special symbols. And the first letter is capital. It's not compulsory. It's just recommended. So that is optional. And the second option is shortcut. So this shortcut key also optional. So you can give by using control or else control plus shift plus also. That shift also optional. It's not mandatory. And this VBA code and macro names are not case sensitive. You can give either small or capital. So after giving the macro name, shortcut and description part, you can say OK. And later you can do all the works what you want to do. Then click on stop record option. Say go to the developer, click on record macro, just go there. So it is asking the macro name. First of all, I'm giving like sample. The macro name is what? Sample. And if you want, you can give the shortcut key also. For example, control plus shift plus M. And where you want to store this macro, just I'm saying this workbook. And if you want, you can give the description also, then say OK. Now it is recording. You can do whatever you want in the Excel. Just I'm giving some text here. I'm typing some text in this macro. Then select this, go to the home tab, bold, color, increase font size. Like this, you can do anything in the Excel backend. It was recorded everything. In case if you are selecting a single cell also, it will be recorded. It will generate the code for that also. And go to the developer tab, say stop recording. And if you want to see the macros, then go to the view macros. Look at there. So there you can see all the open workbooks macros here. And if you want to see the code, just click on this sample, say edit. Look at there. So the code was generated in the backend. Close this. Go to view macros. You can do delete, edit, or else if you want, you can run this macro also. Now this time just I'm going for a new workbook, control plus N. Here I want to execute that macro. So go to the developer, go to the view macros, select the macro name, say run. So like this, in any sheet and in any workbook, you can execute, you can run this macro without doing any changes. And if you want, you can do the changes also inside that code. So if you want to see the code, go to the view macros, just select the macro name, say editor, locate there. What we did in this macro, everything will be recorded, and you can use the shortcut also, create another sheet, Control plus Shift plus M. Locate there. Just we got the result here also. So this is the way you can record the macro and you can run the macro in any sheet and in any workbook. And these are the macro name rules, like max 255 characters, no spaces, first letter should be an alphabet. Now we'll see components of a VBA editor. Once after we enter into the VBA editor, we need to enable few components. Then we'll start writing the macro. We'll see how to enable all the components in the VBA editor. So first, go to the developer, just click on Visual Basic. So if it's first time in the Visual Basic editor, you can see like this. Later, you need to enable all the components. So if you wanted to see all the components, just go to the View menu in the VBA editor, locate the Code window, Immediate window, and the Project Explorer Properties window. There are many. So just you can take all the components and you can start writing the macros. First I'm checking this one is called Project Explorer, Control plus R. So there itself only you can see all the list of open workbooks, sheets, these workbooks and modules also as a VBA project. So how many workbooks you opened? Just go there and Control plus N, new workbook, create the new sheets, just go there, locate there. See, this is a VBA project and this is another VBA project, book 1 and book 2. See, locate there. In the book 1, you can observe there are sheets, this workbook module as a simple VBA project. Here also same, like this is another VBA project for another workbook. And here you can insert n number of modules. So you can write the macros inside the sheets, otherwise in the modules also. If you are writing the macro inside the sheet, so that you can execute that macro in that sheet only. If you wanted to execute that macro in any sheet and in any workbook, just go and write inside the module so that you can execute anywhere. So that's why just we are creating the macros inside the module only. And by default, all recorded macros are stored inside the module only, and we need to write the macros compulsory inside the module only. And the second one is, this is called code window. By using F7 also you can open this code window. So there itself you can write the macro, you can run, edit, debug, and you can do all the things in the VBA editor by using this code window only. And the third one is properties window. Just simply you can say F4, locate there, just drag down. See, it is showing all the properties of a selected item. For example, if I'm selecting sheet 1, locate there, it is showing all the properties of a sheet 1, module 1, and this workbook, locate there, VBA project, Microsoft Excel object. See, there are different types of properties over there for a selected item. It is showing by using properties window. And in that also you can do changes by using properties window. You can change the properties also, and these properties are displayed as alphabetic and categorized wise. And the fourth one is immediate window. See, by using Ctrl plus G, you will take this immediate window also. So there you can execute single statement at a time. It's like a temporary window. So if you wanted to check a few things, we'll go for this immediate window, Ctrl plus G. And after writing a statement, when you are pressing enter, automatically that line is going to execute. And if you wanted to create a new line, you go for Ctrl plus enter in this immediate window. This window is for what? Temporarily purpose. We cannot write coding, just for checking a few expressions, then we'll use this immediate window. So we'll see later about this. So these are the components in the VBA editor: properties window, project explorer, code window, and immediate window. Next, there is a comment. So what is mean by comment? If you wanted to say anything about any program or else any object, then we'll use a comment. So this comment will use by using single quote, so that you can write anything, like I'm giving sample program here. See, look at there. it shows in a green color. But when you are writing inside the comment, it won't executed by the compiler. So just it is for only our understandable purpose. If you wanted to write anything, then simply put it inside the comments so that the compiler will not execute. It doesn't throw any errors. So for any program in the top, or else if you wanted to explain any code, then you can write inside the comment. So in the starting, just you can place a single code. Automatically it becomes a comment. I will explain how to write a macro program. So just I'm writing a sample program. Just I'm giving a comment like sample program. First subject name. See that subject name is anything. Already just now we discussed macro name rules like max 255 characters, no spaces, first letter should be alphabet. So that macro name and the subject name both are same. So you can give any name except predefined keywords. Just enter. See subject name, after that press enter. Automatically we'll get open bracket, close bracket and end subject also. Now we'll write a simple code in this. Just I'm checking like range of A1 colon G10 is equal to, just I'm writing EXCELMAP. See, this is the way to write a macro. Just subject name in this range of A1 colon G10, then say EXCELMAP. So this is the way to write a sample program. Next, after writing a sample program, we'll execute that program. Now we'll see execution of a program. So there are two things, F8 and F5. So there is an option directly, there is a run subject or else user form. So in that you can press F5, otherwise you can use a shortcut called F8. So we'll use F8 and F5. So in this anyone you can use. So by using F8 you can execute line by line. By using F5 you can execute that entire program at a time. My advice is to use F8 only, because so that you can understand for which line which output you will get, and if there is any error in this VBA code you can understand very quickly and you can resolve, you can debug that errors also. Now we'll execute this program. Just I'm writing this program inside the module. Look at there, inside the module only. Just go to the insert, there are user form, module, class module. I'm selecting module. So in that only we need to write the code so that you can execute in any sheet and in any workbook. So first press F8, say first line, second line, third line. Look at there. In the backend, in the Excel, just I got the result like EXCELMAP from A1 to G10. So once after completion of the program, we'll execute this by using F8 or F5. So you can use F5 also. For example, I'm changing Srinivas. Just press F5. Look at that immediately. So that complete entire program will execute at a time by using a shortcut F5. F8 means we'll execute line by line. So friends, this is the way we'll write a macro code and we'll execute the macro. Next, once after creating a macro, we need to save this workbook. Just like Excel workbook, we need to save this macro Excel workbook also. But here we cannot save directly. For example, Ctrl+S and you can give any name here. For example, just I'm giving my file name is like sample and see that save as type is Excel workbook. By default it will be Excel workbook. So if you are clicking on a save option, the workbook will save, but there is a problem. Only this Excel workbook will save, but not that VBA editor code. Next time if you want to see the code, you cannot, just because we are saving this workbook as an Excel file, not Excel macro file. So that's why just go to the save as type, select Excel macro enable workbook, so that Excel along with the macro code also, the file name is any name, and the save as type you should be select Excel macro enabled workbook, then say save. Go to the file, close. Again, open this next time. Look at the sample. And first of all, it is asking to enable the macro. See, enable macros. So there is a notification. Why? Because in the developer tab, there is an option called macro security. So in that there are 4. So first one is disable all macros without notification, disable all macros with notification, disable all macros except digitally signed macros, and enable all macros. See, that last one is not recommended because macros means what? Automation. We are using for automation purpose. If you are doing enable for all the time, backend automatically all the programs are going to execute immediately. So I'm selecting disable all macros with a notification, so that you will get a notification whenever you require. You can enable the macro and you can start execute macros. Then okay, so where it is in the developer macro security, by default we are selecting the second option, disable all macros with notification. This time just I want to protect this code so that other persons, they cannot see this code. Just go to the tools, VBA project properties, protection, lock project for viewing. Okay, tools, VBA project properties, go to the protection, select lock project for viewing, password and confirm password, then say okay. Just go to the tools, VBA project properties, protection, select lock project for viewing, password, confirm password, okay. Now save this, Ctrl+S, again close this, again open this file. See, again it is asking enable macro. Just go to the developer, click on Visual Basic. Look at there, it is not showing any kind of macros. Just click on VBA project. It is asking password. Give the password, say OK, and go to the modules, go to the module 1. Now you are able to see the macro code in this VBA editor. So like this you can protect the VBA code also by giving the password. Now we'll write a few programs here. Just for example, I want to create sheets and workbooks. Say create sheet. Here first subject name, create sheet. See, so once if I'm starting another macro, automatically will get aligned between these two macros. Now sheets.add, so that means it will create a new sheet like sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3, sheet 4. But if you wanted to create a sheet with the name, then go to sheets.add.name is equal to like Srinivas. And if you want to rename the sheet, just sheets of sheet name Srinivas is equal to, just I'm giving EXCELMAP. And if you wanted to delete the sheet, sheets of EXCELMAP dot delete. Look at there. So this is what we are creating the sheet directly, like sheet 1, sheet 2, and we are creating the sheet with the name, and here it is called what? Rename a sheet. It's called comment, and this is called delete a sheet. Now if you wanted to execute, you can by using F8. So there are 2 macros, and the macros names should be different, otherwise you will get error like ambiguous name detected. So that's why I'm giving 2 different names. So it should be a difference like a single letter also. In between these 2 macro names should be a difference, at least a single letter. Now I'm placing the cursor in this macro, press F8, look at the sheets.add, we got sheet 4, and sheets.add.name Srinivas, it will create another sheet with the name Srinivas. See, sheet 4 will be there, and we are creating another name called Srinivas. And now I'm doing rename like sheets of Srinivas.name EXCELMAP. Look at there, we got EXCELMAP in the place of Srinivas. Now I'm deleting the sheet by using sheets of sheet name EXCELMAP delete. See, it is asking to delete, yes. Now press F8. So like this you can create a sheet, and you can enter any data into the sheet, and you can delete the sheet also. Now we'll create a workbook. Create workbook. See, just I'm giving comment for our understandable purpose. Now just subject create workbook. Here also say workbook dot add. So it will create book 1, book 2, book 3. Now otherwise, if you want to give a name workbooks.add.save as. So I'm creating a workbook and giving a file name and path also. Workbooks.add.save as space file name colon is equal to, in the double quotes you can give any file name and any path also. In the D drive, just I want to create a file like Srinivas. So here I need a file Srinivas in the D drive. Now if you wanted to enter any data in this workbook, just you can. So workbooks of workbook name is Srinivas, and in that sheets of I need to enter in the sheet 1 dot range from A1 colon G10 is equal to like EXCELMAP. Now this time we'll save this workbook. Workbooks of workbook name Srinivas dot save, and we'll close this workbook. Workbooks of workbook name Srinivas dot close. There is only one workbook, so that workbook name is called sample. It's a sample.xlsm. So that xlsm is the extension of macros. Excel extension is xlsx and the macro VBA extension is xlsm. Now press F8. See, there is another workbook, it's book 2, and another workbook in the name of Srinivas in the D drive, and just will enter some data and save this, close this workbook. See, locate there. So there is no opened workbook in the name of Srinivas. Wrote a code for closing a workbook. So this is the way just you can create a workbook and you can enter some data, save and close the workbook. So these are all sample programs. Like this you can do multiple programs. This time just will create a macro for fonts. Subject fonts, range of A1 colon G10 is equal to, I'm taking here EXCELMAP, range of A1 colon G10 dot font dot bold is equal to true. So you can do bold. True means the bold will apply, and false means it will remove the bold. And just you can do copy and paste. Copy paste dot italic true dot size is equal to like 12 dot underline. If you want, just you can apply all the things in the font. Now dot size dot name, there is font name, you can just take like Arial. See, now just execute this program. Press F8. In that A1 to G10 EXCELMAP, bold, italic, underline, font size 12, and font name is Arial. And if you want, you can apply the color also. So there is option dot color. So there is a VB red or else VB green, VB blue. So directly we cannot mention the color name. So by using VB we'll start VB red, VB green, VB blue also. So just press F5, locate there. Just we got the color also. And if you want to fill with the colors in the Excel, you can use another macro, that is by using interior color. So that you can fill the colors in the Excel. Subject fill colors. So here range of A1 colon G10 dot interior dot color is equal to, you can say like VB blue. Locate there. Just press F8. See, in the backend, in the Excel filled with blue color in the cells of A1 to G10. So you can use interior color, otherwise you can use interior color index also. In the Macros VBA by default there are 56 predefined colors all there. You can use this color index numbers also, like range of A11 colon G10 dot interior dot color index, and you can say like 15. Press F5. Locate there. So from A1 to G10 BB blue and A11 to G20 are given a number 15, that is color index number. For every color we have the numbers like totally 1 to 56 predefined colors are there in the Macros VBA. Friends, these are all 5 sample programs. So like this, there are many things you will create macros for all in Excel options. Friends, now we'll discuss about data types in VBA. So first of all, what is mean by data type? It represents the type of the data. So these are also very important for writing macros. So data type means represents the type of the data, means what kind of data we are using inside the program. So we need to declare in the starting only. So there are many data types are there. First, numeric data types like byte, integer, long integer, single, double. So in the byte, integer, long integer, you can store non-decimals, without points, and in the single and double, you can store decimals as well as non-decimals values also. Both the values you can store in the single and double. Now we'll see what are the data types in the VBA. So first is byte. So what is byte? Byte is nothing but it's a numerical data type. It can store only whole numbers without any decimals, and it takes non-negative values, only positive values. It takes from 0 to 255. And integer occupies 2 bytes of memory. The range is minus 32,768 to plus 32,767. If you want to go for more values, then go for long integer. There are 4 bytes. Minus 2, 1474, 83, 648 to 647, and single, double or decimals minus 3.4 e power 38 exponential part. Single takes 4 bytes and double occupies 8 bytes of memory. Then there is boolean. Boolean means true or false. It takes 2 bytes of memory. And currency, dates. So already in the Excel we discussed the date starts from January 1st 1900 in the Excel, but in the VBA January 1st 100. And you can take the objects, strings, variant. So this variant is very important. If you are not declaring any kind of data type, by default it takes variant. Variant is the default data type in the VBA. It can hold dates, floats, integers, string, object, all the data types in the variant. In case if you forgot to declare to data type, by default it is created as a variant data type in the VBA. So friends, these are all main important data types in the VBA. So there are many other data types also there, but I am discussing only 5 important and useful data types. Friends, now we'll discuss about operators in VBA. So what is meant by operator? So operator means perform the operations by using operands like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. There are many operators are there in the VBA also. Generally, these operators we categorize it into 4 types in this VBA. Those are mathematical operators, string operators, comparison operators, and logical operators. Now we'll see one after another. First one is mathematical operators. So in that, power operator, multiplication, division operator, and the integer division operator, modular operator, addition, subtraction. So power means like if you want to write anything power like r cube, you can write r into r, otherwise r power 3. And multiplication, division means it gives with the decimals also. For example, if it is 10 by 3, we'll get 3.33. And integer division operator, backward slash, it gives only integers without any decimals. If it is 10 by 3, 3 is a 9, so the result is 3 only, quotient only. And mod means it gives remainder. So example, 8 mod 3, 3 to the 6, the remainder is 2. And the addition, subtraction operators. Next, string operator, and already discussed in the Excel also. By using this, we'll do concatenate. And comparison operators, we'll do compare the values by using these operators: equal, not equal, less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. There are many. And the last one is logical operators, and or not. So in the Excel also there are many logical operators are there. Here also same. And means if all the conditions are true, the result will be true, otherwise it becomes false. Or means anyone is true, the result will be true, otherwise false. Not means true is false and false is true. So these are four types of operators. Those are mathematical, string, comparison and logical operators. So in the mathematical, there are power, multiplication, division, integer division, modular, plus addition, subtraction, and string and concatenation. Comparison is equal, not equal, less than, greater than, less than or equal, greater than or equal. And in the logical operators, and, or, not, these three operators are there. So these are very important. If you know properly data types and operators, then only in the future you are able to write the macros very clearly, because you have to know which data type you need to declare, what kind of operators are we need to use in the programs. Then only you can write the programs, macros very easily and very quickly. Now in this video we'll discuss about input and message boxes in VBA. So before starting input and message boxes, first we'll discuss about how to declare a variables and what kind of data types we need to use. So first I'm going to do a program like addition of two values. Look at the subject name is addition. Now the variable declaration dim x as integer. So here dim is dimension, just we are saying x is a variable. In that we need to store integer values without any decimals. Same like dim y as integer. Now take x is equal to one value and y is equal to another value. Range of a1 is equal to x plus y. Now we'll get addition of two values. Here I am declaring a variables like x and y. X integer, y also integer. Previously we discussed what is integer and what is the range of integer size also. Now we are declaring a variable x, dim x as integer. Dim means dimension, x as integer and y also integer. Press F8 to execute. F8, then we'll get 30. So in the Excel you can observe the output is 30. Like this we'll create the variables with the data types. Now we'll do another program. This is like area of circle. So the formula for area of circle is area is equal to pi r square. So in this pi we cannot type, so that just we are taking 22 by 7, otherwise 3.14 into r. So like this we'll write the formula. 3.14 means decimals, so that we'll go for single or double. Subject area circle. Now just give r as integer, r is equal to 4.5, area is equal to 3.14 into r. Otherwise you can write r power 2. And range of A2 is equal to, you can write area. Press F8. Look at it. Just we got the result 50.24. So it's a pi r square. Otherwise you can write r into r also. Look at there. See, we got same result. We'll write r into r, otherwise r power 2 also. Here we are taking decimal values, but r as declared as integer, so that means it won't calculate after the decimal. So that's why just we'll take it as single or else double. Now look at the F8. So the output is 63.585 actual output is, but if you are taking integer, so it won't calculate after decimal, like it will calculate 4 only, the 4.5. That's why if it is a decimals compulsory we need to declare either single or double, then only we'll get exact result. So that's why just we are taking this kind of data types in the VBA. Now we'll discuss about input and message boxes in the VBA. Input box and message box. So first we'll check a sample program. Subject, input, message. So dim x as integer, X is equal to input box, enter X value. Here there are two boxes, input box and message box. Input box means to read the data from the keyboard, and message box means display the result output as pop-up message. So if you wanted to display anything, we'll use message box, and if you wanted to read the data from the keyboard, we'll use input box. Now message box, say X, look at there. Now press F8, F8, F8. See, Microsoft Excel, enter X value. This text will be given inside the input box. Now enter 100. Okay, the value is copied to X, and now I'm going to display this X value 100, message box 100. Look at there. So this is the way we'll use input box and message box. Input box is for what? To read the data from the keyboard, and message box is to display the result pop-up messages. Now we'll write input box separately. Subject, input box, div X as integer, X is equal to input box, enter X value. See, this time just if you're giving enter X value, so we'll get only message. Instead of that, just I'm checking like EXCELMAP and 1000 also. We'll see the result, what will happen. Now range of A1 is equal to X. We'll see. Press F8, F8. See, in the previous slide we observed for the input box that input box name is Microsoft Excel. Now it is EXCELMAP. Enter X value 1000. 1000 is what? It's a default value. So what is default value? If you don't want to enter anything, otherwise if you're not giving any value, automatically it takes the default value. So EXCELMAP, enter X value 1000. Okay. Now the 1000 value we are stored into the range of A1 subject. Now just we'll see the values. Enter X value, EXCELMAP 1000. EXCELMAP, enter X value 1000. Now I'm changing to 500. So that 500 copied to this A1 cell. So like this, just we'll use input box, and this time we'll use message box. Subject, message box, div X as integer, X is equal to input box, enter X value, message box. So this time instead of number, we'll display the text also. Text and number both. The given number is and X. See, X is a variable and the given number is, that is inside the double quotes, it's called text. So at a time we cannot display the text and variable. That's why I am doing concatenate by using string operator concatenate. F8, F8, enter X value 1000, then see the given number is 1000, then say OK. So like this will display the text and number at a time. And if you want to take the new line in this message box, so we'll use VBA new line for the message box. To get the new line, just press F8, see 1000 or any value, see the given number is 1000. The 1000 is coming in the next line. Why? Because we use a keyword VB new line, so that we'll get a value in the next line. So this VB new line we'll use in the message box only. So this is the way we'll use input box and message box. So input box is for what? To read the data from the keyboard, and the message box is to display the result, just like pop-up messages. And there are many advanced things also there, like if you're writing, you will get yes, no, cancel. If it is yes, what will do? If it is no, what will do? That we'll discuss in the advanced level. Friends, now we'll discuss about control statements in VBA. So what is meant by control statements? Control the flow of program execution. That means how many lines you want to execute and where you want to stop and where you want to start. Everything controlled by control statements. So in the VBA, there are two types of control statements, conditional statements and looping statements. First, we'll discuss about conditional statements. Conditional statements means to check the conditions. In that, we'll use if and else. If the condition is true, it executes if block, otherwise it executes else block. In this, we'll use comparison operators. That if block is called true block and the else block is called false block. So in the control statement, first one is conditional statements. In the conditional statement, to check the conditions. If you want to check anything in the VBA, we'll use this conditional statements by using if and else. We'll see now how we'll do. So there are conditional statements. So first, a sample program I'm taking like a max of given two numbers. So first, subject name max 2. Dim x as integer, you can check any variable. Dim y as integer. X is equal to input box, enter x value, y is equal to input box, enter y value. If x is greater than y, see, just look at there, we are checking the condition. If it is x is greater than y, then if you want you can display the Excel, otherwise we go for message box also. X is max, else message box y is max, and if. Okay, look at there. Just first we are declaring variables, read the data by using input boxes, and we are checking the condition. If x is greater than y, then x is max, and if it is not, else y is max. Now we'll execute this program. Press F8, first 20, again F8, 10, say 20 is greater than 10, condition true, then it will say x is max. Then again we'll execute this time, reverse input, 10, press F8, 20. Then 10 is greater than 20, condition false. So if it is false, directly it goes to the else part and display the result as y is max. So like this. If it is x is greater than y, then it display x is max, otherwise it will display y is max based on the conditions. Now we'll write another program like given number is even or odd. Given number is even or odd. Subject even, odd. Look at there. Here dim n as integer. You can take any variable here. N is equal to input box, enter n value. If n mod 2 is equal to 0, then so what is even number? If it is divisible by 2, we call it as even number, otherwise we call it as odd number. So mod means a remainder, it gives the remainder. If it is divisible by 2, if you are dividing with the 2, the remainder is 0, then we call it as even number. Message box even number, else otherwise message box odd number, and if. And see, F8, this time I'm giving 10. So 10 modulus 2, yes, 0. Then we'll get even number. And this time I'm giving 11. 11 modulus 2, it's not. 2 5 is 10, remainder is 1. So we'll get odd number. And along with this, if you want to display the number also, then n and look at there. N and, for example, we'll go for another number like 100. See. 100 is even number, and if you want any space, you can give the space also here. Again press F8, will give 21. 21 modulo 2, it's not, condition becomes false, goes to the else part saying 21 odd number. Okay, just you can write is even number and is odd number. So like this, we'll check the condition. If you want to check any condition, then we'll use this conditional statements if and else. But in this scenarios, we are using only one if and one else. In case if you wanted to check for multiple conditions, for example maximum of 3 numbers or 4 numbers or any other programs, then we'll go for nested if else. So it's called nested if else. So what is nested if else? In if else, another if or else can be existed. It is called nested if else. That means more than one if else. So this is also comes under conditional statements only. From the control statements and in the conditional statements, there is a nested if else. If it is more than one if else, we call it as nested if else. To check the multiple conditions, we'll use nested if else. Nested if else. For example, just I need to find out max of 3 numbers. Look at the subject name, max 3. Along with the nested if else, I'm using logical operators also. So if you are not using logical operators, the program size will increase. You need to write multiple conditions. So what is logical operators? To combine 2 or more conditions into one single condition by using AND or. So that will reduce the size of the program. Look at there. If I'm not using logical operator, what will happen? Dim x as integer, dim y as integer, dim z as integer. We'll read the values. Input box, enter x value, y is equal to input box, enter y value, z is equal to input box, enter z value. See there, if x is greater than y, then if x is greater than z, then message box x is max. See, normally if both are satisfied, if x is greater than y, then it comes to the next line. If x is greater than z, then x is max. Else, message box, you can say z is max. If it is x greater than y, that means already comparing with these two variables, x is a max, so y is not. And if it is not with the z, automatically z is max. Then say end if. And come to this part. Again, else if y greater than z. Look at that, else if, it's a single word. Y greater than z, then message box, y is max. Else, message box, z is max. Then end it. So this is the program for max of 3 numbers, and you can execute. Press F8, look at the first value, press F8, second value, again press F8, third value. See, x is how much? 20, y is 10, z is 30. So x is how much? 20 greater than 10, condition true. Come inside. And 20 greater than 30, condition false. It goes to the else part and display z is max. Come outside. So in case if it is y is max, it comes to this part, and if it is greater than z also, we'll simply say y is max, otherwise it will display z is max. So this program little bit lengthy, so that we'll use logical operators by using AND. See, x is greater than y and x greater than z, then x is max. Else if y greater than z, then y is max, else z is max. So like this we'll write the program. So we'll simplify by using logical operators. Then press F8, look at the y is max. So by using logical operators, we'll simplify the programs. So we'll reduce the conditions. Multiple conditions we'll write in a single one. And sometimes we need to use OR operator also. For example, just I need to write vowel or consonant. Subject, vowel, cons. So this time we are taking a character, a letter. So I'm taking string, dim ch as string. Ch is equal to input box, enter a character. If ch is equal to a or, ch is equal to a or, ch is equal to I or, ch is equal to o or, ch is equal to u. Then message box oval, else message box consonant, then enter. Look at there. So otherwise we need to write 5 conditions. Instead of 5 conditions, we are writing single condition by using logical OR operator. If ch is equal a or e or I or o or u, then we call it as oval. Otherwise you can say consonant. So press F8, give any character e, so satisfied, then display oval. Here you can write like another character p. So p is it's not satisfied because it is not a or e or o or I u, so that it goes to the else part and display consonant. So like this, just we'll use these logical operators also in the if else. So these are the programs like conditional statements. We'll do this kind of scenarios. For example, if you want to check like any amount calculations, we'll use conditions if else. So normally, if you want to check one condition, we'll go for one if else, and if you want to check multiple conditions, we'll go for nested if else. And if you have multiple conditions, then we'll use logical operators to reduce the conditions so that the program size also will reduce. Friends, in this session, we'll discuss about looping statements in VBA. So first, what is meant by loop? Loop is a control statement which is used to repeat a statement for number of times. Loop is a control statement which is used to repeat a statement for number of times. A statement or else any value, if you want to repeat multiple times, then we'll go for loops. So there are multiple loops out there in the macros. First one is for loop, and the second one is do while loop, and the third one is do until loop, and the fourth one is for each loop. This is a very important loop for each loop. So these are 4 types in the loops. So for loop, do while, and for each loop, so we are using regularly. So these are very important. So object or else range and any other text, if you wanted to repeat for multiple times, then we are placing simply inside the loops, so that will repeat a number of times. If the condition is true, it will execute the loop until the condition becomes false. Now we'll see with an example. We'll discuss about for loop. So just I want to display the numbers from 1 to 10. Subject for loop dim I as integer, and for x is equal to 1 to 10, then range of a and x is equal to x. Next x. So this is a sample program for loop. See, just I'm checking dim x as integer and x is equal to 1 to 10. See, first just we are giving a range from 1 to 10. In the x will store first a number 1, and now x is 1. Range of a and x in the a column, first row, that becomes a1 cell. In the a1, just it stores number 1. Locate there. In the a1 1, next x becomes a 2. Now in the a2 it will be 2. Next x becomes 3, a3 3, like a4, a5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now x is 10. Next x becomes 11, but the range is only 1 to 10. We given range for x is equal to 1 to 10 only. Now the x will be 11, so it won't execute. The condition becomes false, so it comes out from the loop. Look at there. So this is the way to execute the for loop. First it will check the condition. We are giving a range for the variable and it takes one after another. So if the condition becomes false, directly it comes out from the loop. So this is what called for loop. Next, do until loop. So it is quite opposite for loop. If the condition becomes false, then only it will execute. If the condition becomes true, it comes out from the loop. So opposite for loop is called do until loop. We'll do the program. Subject do until dim I as integer I is equal to 1, do until I greater than 5. Next, this time I'm taking cells of I comma 1. Then dot value is equal to 10. I is equal to I plus 1, then loop. See. So normally just we are taking cells, it's same like range, but in the range first we are taking column then row. In the cells first it takes row then column, I equal 1 greater than 5, 1 greater than 5, condition false, so it executes the loop. So first row, first column, that is A1, but I want to display in the B column, then we'll change this to 2, now it becomes B1, B column. In the B1 just I'm giving 10. Look at there. Next, I equal to I plus 1. I becomes 2. Now 2 greater than 5. Condition false. Now the B2 10, B3, B4 and B5 also, because 5 greater than 5 also false. Next, I becomes 6. Look at there. I is 6. 6 greater than 5, condition true. That means it comes out from the loop. So until the condition becomes true, the do until loop will execute continuously. If the condition is false, then only it will execute. Otherwise, it comes out from the loop. And the third one is do while loop. This is also same like as for loop. See, subject do while dim I as integer. Next, I is equal to 1. Do while I less than 6, cells of I comma 3, dot value is equal to 20. I is equal to I plus 1. Then say loop. Look at there. See, this is also same like as for loop, but in the for loop always we are saying next x only, so we'll increase at a time only one value, but here you can increase multiple values also. I is equal to I plus 1, I plus 2, I plus 3 also. I just go to the press F8. I is equal to 1, 1 less than 6, condition true, coming inside first row, third column, that is C1. C1 is 20. Next, I equal to I plus 1, that means I becomes 2. I is 1, 1 plus 1, 2. I becomes 2. 2 less than 6, condition true. C2, 20. C3, C4, C5, C6. Okay, 6 less than 6, condition false. So it comes out from the loop. Until the condition becomes false, it will execute the statements inside the loop. That is called what? Do while loop. So these are the three loops: for loop, do, until and do while. About for each loop we'll discuss later. Now we'll do another program like we're checking a range of values. In that, how many even numbers and how many odd numbers we'll find out. So first, find out even and odd numbers in a range. First, subject even, odd, n as integer. For n is equal to 1 to 10. Here I am taking directly n is equal to 1 to 10. If n mod 2 is equal to 0, then message box n is a even number, else message box n is a odd number. And if next n. So it will repeat for 10 times, and each time it will check whether it is even number or odd number. Now we'll execute this program. Just press F8. F8. Already we discussed. Mod means it gives the remainder. If it is a number divisible by 2, we call it as even number, otherwise we call it as odd number. Press F8. 1 modulus 2 equal 0. Condition false. It goes to the else spot and display 1 is odd number, and next n becomes 2, 2 modulus 2, yes, condition true, it gives even number like 3, 4, like just I am pressing F5, 5 is odd, 6 is even, 7 is odd, 8 is even, 9 is odd, 10 is even. So like this, just will execute the statements. So for your understandable purpose, I am telling few examples in the for loops, so that just you can understand how the loop is executing. Inside the loops, how we'll write the conditions also. Now we'll do sum of given range in the Excel. Go to there, just take first names and take subjects. Like here I'm taking field subjects till 5 and say total N1. Now is equal to random numbers. I'm taking random between like 30, 100. Select the range, shift to down arrow, shift right arrow, Control plus D, fill down, Control plus or fill right, Control plus C, copy all ESV paste values. Then we'll do the total. So directly we'll write a formula is equal sum of, then we'll select the range. But this time just I want to do sum by using VBA code, macro code. Then go to this editor and we'll write the code. See, sum of given range. First go to the subject name I'm taking like sum range. Then dip x as integer. For x is equal to we are taking 16 rows. It takes 2 to 16. Next range of the total is in the G column. G and x is equal to. Now see, every function will be there in the application.worksheet function. Look at there, application.worksheet function dot. Look at there, we look up sum average. Say average, if, all the functions count, also count, a, count blank, count if, all the functions are there in the application.worksheet function. So here also sum, also same way, sum of range, then we'll go for range. So we need to take from B2 to F2, from B column to F column, there are 5 subjects. See here, B space and X and double quotes colon F and X. Then say next X. Look at there. So just we are taking the range, application.worksheet function dot sum of range. So the range is B to F. So X is equal to 2 to 16. So Bx, B2, B to colon F2. Look at there. We'll execute this program. Just come here. First press F8. X is 2. Now sum of B to X is 2. B2 colon F2. Sum of B2 to F2 and it will copy the data into the G2 cell. Look at there. Next X becomes 3. Now B3 to F3. B4 to F4. Like till 16 rows. Press F5. Look at there, just we got the result. But there is a small problem. The next day or else some other time, if you are adding extra rows or else deleting extra rows, we need to change the range. In this code, instead of 16, we'll go for 20 or else 10, any other ranges. So instead of changing every time that row number, we'll go for a function called count A. So it will count how many cells are there in the sheet or else in the column. We'll go for count A function. That is also the application.worksheet function dot then count A. Next in this we'll write range of A and double quotes colon A. Now so this is also same like previous example. Here it will count complete values. What is count A? Count A means counts the number of cells in a range that are not empty. Means except blank cells, it will count everything. It may be text or numbers or any other things. So it won't count blanks. Except blank, it will count everything. That is what called count A. Just we are counting how many cells are there in the A column. Okay, so by using count A, which is having data. So 2 to 16 will get. So 2 to 16 condition true, and from B2 to F2 we are placing into the G2, G3 like till 16 rows. Okay, till this there is no problem. You can use count A function to count the number of cells in a column. Next time if you are adding or removing rows, automatically it checks the count and it will do calculation. So that is called macros to do the automation. But here there is a small problem. In case if there are any blanks, Look at there. Now the count is 13 only. Here it takes 2 to 13 only. The count is 13, so that it takes 2 to 13 only. It won't display the result for the last 3 cells. So that's why this count is also not much useful. So that we'll find out the end of the row. So instead of this count A, we'll go for end of the row. Last row of the column. That is called what? End of the row. So think E row as integer. Now we'll find out the last row in the column. So E row is equal to sheets of sheet 2 dot range of A and rows dot count dot end of EXCELMAP dot row. Look at there. So just automatically it is finding the last row. See, E row is equal to sheets of sheet 2. In the sheet 2, in the A column, rows dot count, that means 10,48,576. It goes to the end of the row, and just we are coming in Excel up till the data in the row, that is called end of the row. Look at there. That E row is what? How much? 16. It takes 2 to 16. It may be blanks or any other things. So automatically it takes the last row in the column or else in the sheet. Now we do calculate. Press F5. Look at there. See, just I'm deleting these values. Now we'll execute this. Press F8. F8. Press F5. Look at there. So automatically we get all the values based on the data. So if there are blanks also, there is no problem. And by using these loops, you can do many things, like you can compare 2 sheets to workbooks also, and you can take the active cell ranges also, so that you can do multiple things. These if conditions and loops are very important for Macros VBA. So how much you are perfect in that part, you can learn this Macros VBA that much easily. Now we'll discuss about for each loop. There is a 4th loop, the loops for each loop. So in the for each loop, just we are giving a range or else values. It will display one after another without checking any condition in that. So first we'll see a basic program, subject for each. Now here just I need to display the values. Dim orange as range. Range also one type of data type. For each, here I am taking range in range of A1 colon A10. Next, orange is equal to 1. Orange dot interior dot color is equal to VB blue. Next, orange. So here first it executes for each orange in range A1 colon A10. That means it takes first cell into the orange, that is A1. Now A1 is equal to 1. A1 interior color VB blue. Look at there, blue color we got. Next orange. So A2. A2 is equal to 1. Interior color the A2 blue. Next orange. A3, A4, A5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Look at there. So it executes one after another. In the for each loop, the range what we given, it takes one after another. Here I wanted to display the sheet names. Display sheet names. Subject display sheet. Dim sh as worksheet. And for each, sh in worksheets. Next, message box sh dot name. Next, sh. Okay, first, how many sheets? There are 3 sheets are there. It display one after another sheet names. Press F8. First, it takes all the worksheets, and from there it takes only one worksheet. There is a sheet 1. Message box sh dot name. It display the sheet 1. Look at there. Next to sheet 2. Next to sheet 3. So same like you can display the workbook names also here. Display workbook names. Subject display workbooks. Dim WB as workbook. For each WP in workbooks, message box, WP.name, next WP. First it takes all open workbooks. So okay, how many workbooks are open? It takes all the workbooks. In that first it takes first workbook. It will display the first workbook name, that is called book 1, and next workbook, look at there, because there is only one workbook was open, that's why it is showing only one workbook name. So this is what for each loop. It takes all the ranges and display one after another. So by using for each loop, but it is very important, this for each loop. Now we'll work with the VLOOKUP by using loops. In this VLOOKUP and along with the VLOOKUP match and other functions also, how we'll execute by using this data. First, just I'm checking for like IDs. It may be like any IDs, 1001, 1002. Just select this, double click autofill, select format painter. We'll apply this one also. Look at there. In this, I'm checking some data, some IDs. Copy and go to there, paste. Look at there. So we'll take some values like randomly. Now, so for this IDs, based on the column index number, I need to pick the values from the sales data to the sheet 1. Okay. So now for this, we'll write the macro by using VLOOKUP function. Go to the developer, visual basic. So here just I will write a small macro based on the VLOOKUP subject. VLOOKUP macro. First, dim x as integer, dim arrow as integer, dim arrow 1 as integer. First, we need to calculate, we need to count how many rows are there in the sales data as well as sheet 1 also. Arrow is equal to, same like we discussed already, sheets of sheet name is sales data dot range of A and rows dot count dot end Excel up dot row. Next, arrow 1 is equal sheets. Arrow is for what? Sales data. Arrow 1 is for what? Sheet 1. Sheet 1 dot range of A and rows dot count dot end Excel up dot row. Now we'll write the VLOOKUP by using for loop for x is equal to 1 to arrow 1, because I'm not taking any heading in the sheet 1. So x is equal to 1 to arrow 1, range of, just I want in the second column, dx is equal to, first every function is there in the application dot worksheet function dot VLOOKUP. So in the VLOOKUP there are 4 arguments: lookup value, table array, column index number, and range lookup. First I'm taking lookup value, range of A and X, comma, sheets of sheet name is sales data dot, we need to take the range. So if you wanted to break the line, because there is no sufficient space for writing complete code in a single line, then space underscore enter. Now that complete thing is a single line only. Just give the space and underscore, then range of. So this is what lookup value and the table I am checking. The sales data from where? From A1 to G and arrow G278, commas, I want second column, comma 0 is what exact. Then say next X. Now we'll execute this one. So first, variable declaration, okay, what is end of the row? It's a 278, end of the row 1 is 15, 1 to 15, because there are 15 records over there. First it takes AX, that means A1. What is A1 ID? So ID, we are searching in the sales data from A1 to G278 for the second column. Look at that. What is the product? Next X becomes 2. A2 is what? 1001. So for 1001 in the product second column, what is the value? See, alas mutton, 1002, 1007, 1009, like all the values, still 15 rows. Look at that. So now x is 15, next x becomes 16, but the condition becomes false because we have only 15 records, that end of the row is 15 only, it is coming outside. But in case if I want third column, just give the 3, press F5, say we got customer. If it is fourth column, press F5, we got quarter 1. So every time, instead of changing manually the column index number, you can place the variable here. So I'm checking dim column as integer. So first we'll read the column input box, enter a column number. Now instead of 2, we'll give COL column. Now press F8. Look at there, it is asking which column you want. I want third column. Now the column index number becomes 3. Press F5. Look at there, F5, 2, F5, 5. Look at there. And you can place the buttons also. There are many ways to create the buttons, but here I'm taking a simple one. Go to the insert, illustrations group, shapes, select anyone, just draw this button. If you want, you can highlight with the colors and everything. Just I'm writing VLOOKUP. Just right click, assign macro, select the macro name, say okay. Now just click on this. Look at there, it is asking the column number 2, again 3, again 4, like this. So you can create the buttons also for the macros, so that while clicking on the button, it will open that, it will execute the macro. And in case if you want to execute with the multiple columns, VLOOKUP with multiple columns. So here just I'm taking some data, copy this, go to sheet 2, paste. Go there, just I want to take for all the columns in the sheet 2. Look at there. So I want product, customers, so all the data. Okay, this time we'll write VLOOKUP with multiple columns. In the VLOOKUP, in the place of column index number, I am going to use match function. So first here we'll write the code. Instead of column, just we'll find out end of the column, a column. So here end of the column is equal to sheets of sheet name sheet 2 dot cells of 1 comma columns dot count in Excel to left dot column. Now we'll get end of the column, and here we'll use a extra loop for x is equal to 2 to end of the row 1, and for y is equal to 2 to end of the column. And here just I'm using same way. In the place of bx, I'm using cells of x comma y. Next, same thing, ax. So for A2, in the range of sales data from A1 to G278, that is 0. In the place of column index number, I'm using another function called match. So what is meant by match function? Finding the position. So finding the position, because we have multiple columns, we don't know exactly which column is in which column index number. That's why just we're using the match function to finding the column index number. Application dot worksheet function dot match. So in the match, first of all, we need same here also lookup value, cells of 1 comma y comma space underscore will come next line. Next here sheets of sheet name sales data dot range of from A1 colon G1 comma 0. So in the place of column index number, I am using match. Then next y and next x. Look at there, in the place of column index number, I am using match function. So this is a lookup value table array. So that value we are finding inside the sales data from A1 to G1. So first press F8. Look at the end of the row 278 in the sales data, end of the row 1, 15 in the sheet 1, end of the column, 7 columns in the sheet 2. Okay, everything is right. Now x is equal to 15. Y is equal to 2 to 7. Now X is 2, Y is 2. Now A2, what is A2, which is having 1001? So that 1001 we are searching in the sales data from A1 to G278 for which column? So first row, second column, first row, second column, that is means first row, second column, that is B1. In the B1 we have the product. That product we are searching in the sales data from A1 to G1, where it is. That is in the second column. Now the column index number is 2. Now for this second column, we'll get the result. Press F8, go to the Excel, locate there. Just we got a list mutton and go there. Next to Y. Y becomes 3. Say that 1001 will search for third column, that is customer. Next, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, locate there. Automatically it becomes 7, quarter 4. See, we got complete first row from product to quarter 4, 6 columns. Now again next to Y becomes 8, but the columns are 7 only. It comes out from the while loop, and next X becomes 3. Now it goes to the third row, that is A3. So again same like. Now press F8, locate there. So the values are coming automatically. Just see. You can press F5. Go to the Excel, locate there. Just we got all the data for all the columns. There is a VLOOKUP with multiple columns by using match function in the place of column index number inside the VLOOKUP. Locate this code. So we are finding the end of the row, end of the row 1, end of the column. Next we are taking X equal to end of the row 1, Y is equal to end of the column, and in the VLOOKUP lookup value table array, and in the place of column index number we are using match function, the match lookup value table array, so that we will execute these things. So this is what VLOOKUP with multiple columns. So like I can do VLOOKUP with multiple sheets, multiple workbooks also. So there are many things. We'll use offset, match, choose, indirect, index. There are many functions. There are a lot of things to discuss in this Macros VBA. In this we'll discuss about how to copy the data from multiple workbooks into one single workbook by using Macros VBA. Here we'll write the VBA code. We'll do copy the data from multiple workbooks into one single workbook. Here there are multiple workbooks. In that there are multiple sheets. From all the workbooks, from all the sheets, I want to copy the data into a single workbook. Here you can observe there are workbooks like total, subtotal, projects. From these 3 workbooks, I want to copy the data into single workbook. It's called book 1 by using Macros VBA code. So before writing the macro, we need to open the VBA editor. Just go to the developer tab, click on Visual Basic. Otherwise, you can use a shortcut called Alt plus F11. Now after that, just go to the insert menu in the VBA editor, click on module. So in the previous classes already we discussed the macros compulsory we need to write inside the module. Then only you can execute that macro in any sheet and in any workbook. Now I'm writing a macro to copy the data from multiple workbooks into a single workbook. First, if you want, you can add the comment also. Here I'm giving adding all workbooks data into one workbook. So first we need to take the subject name. So like subject name will take adding workbook. So you can give any subject name, then press enter. So automatically it will create open bracket, close bracket and end subject also. Then we'll create the variables dim WB as workbook, dim hero as long integer. After that we'll go for each loop. In the for each loop we'll check the workbook from the workbooks. So in this workbooks there are all the workbooks. It gives one after another. Then if the workbook name wb.name workbook name is so just I want to copy the data into the book 1. So book 1. If the workbook name is book 1, then say exit for means it is coming out from the for each loop if it is book 1, because that complete data we want to copy into the book 1 from all the 3 different workbooks. Otherwise, if it is not, else, and in the workbook we'll take the sheets, WB dot sheets, in that we'll take sheet 1 dot range of A1 colon G10. Here just I want to copy the data from A1 to G10 from the sheet 1. Just say copy and go to the workbooks of workbook name book 1, then say activate. That means it is going to the book 1 workbook. Next again go to the sheets of sheet 1, activate. That means we are going to the book 1 and in the book 1 sheet 1, and we'll find out the end of the row, that is the last row of the sheet. So I'm giving a variable a row. Next sheets of sheet 1, there range of a and rows dot count n EXCELMAP dot row. So just here I'm finding the end of the row in the sheet 1, so where we want to copy the data. After that, workbooks of workbook name, that is book 1. In that just I'm taking sheets of sheet name sheet 1, then take the range in the A column. So already just we have taken end of the row, so I end of the row plus 1. That means next row of the end of the row, that is 0 plus 1, then paste special, then end if next workbook and end the subject. Okay, this is the program. Now we'll execute the program. We'll see the result what we are getting. So already we discussed if you want to execute the program, we'll use 2 ways, F8 or else F5. So F8 means will execute line by line, and F5 means it will execute entire program at a time. So just I want to execute line by line because I want to see the result what I'm getting here. Now we'll use a shortcut F8 to execute line by line. Just press F8, F8, F8. Okay, look at there. Just it is giving one workbook into the WB variable. See, the workbook name is what? Total.xlsx, but it is not equal to book 1. Then it is go to the else part and copy the data from the total.xlsx workbook, that is from A1 to G10. Now we'll see, go to the total, look at there, it was copied data from A1 to G10 in that workbook, and coming to the book 1, book 1 dot activate. In the book 1, go to the sheet 1, then it is finding the end of the row in the sheet 1. Now end of the row is 0, press F8. Now it is end of the row is 1, last row of the sheet. After that, in the book 1 sheet 1, A 0 plus 1, that is A2. In the A2, paste to special, look at there. Again, next workbook, that is second workbook, it is not book 1, goes to the else part, copy the data from A1 to G10. Next, go to the book 1 sheet 1. Next, find the end of the row. Again, just paste the data end of the row plus 1. So like this, all the workbooks, how many workbooks are opened here, it will take the data from all the workbooks and place it inside the book 1 workbook. Look at there. Now the final workbook is book 1. See, book 1 is book 1. Now condition satisfied, it is coming out from the loop. Just end the subject. Friends, this is the way we'll copy the data from multiple workbooks into one workbook by using this simple macro. See, here it's very simple, but before knowing this, you have to know how to write the macro program and what is if conditions and what are the loops, so that you can understand very easily, very quickly. Now we'll discuss about VBA error types. So generally, if you are executing any program, if you are doing any mistakes, automatically it will generate few errors. there are different types of errors are there, like when you're typing, or else when you're executing a program, or else when you are using an application, we'll get different types of errors. Now we'll see what kind of errors we'll face and how many types of errors. So these are all called VBA error types. Now we'll see. So generally, what is meant by error? This VBA error that you may encounter when executing an Excel macro. There are three types of VBA errors that you may encounter when executing an Excel macro. We'll see. First one is compile errors, and the second one is runtime errors, and the third one is logical errors. There are three different types of errors in VBA. First one is what? Compile errors. When you are typing the program, we'll get errors. We'll see. Go to the developer, Visual Basic, Insert, Module. For example, just I want to write sample program. Subject name, range of A1 is equal EXCELMAP. Look at there. So there is a compile error. We got error because I didn't mention double quotes for A1 cell. That's why we got error. So while typing this, if you want to go for next line, automatically it will generate an error. This kind of errors are called compile error. So you can give double quotes. How this kind of errors generated automatically? That means there is an option, tools, options, there is auto syntax check. So here auto syntax check was enabled. That's why when you are doing any mistakes in the line, automatically it shows that errors with the red color. So then you can select this auto syntax check. Okay. And now I will show another example for compile error. For example, I want to do addition of two values. Addition of two values. Subject addition. Here I am taking A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20, range of A1 is equal to A plus B. Now there is no problem. We can execute this program F8, F8, F8. We got the result successfully. But in case if I mention like option explicit, so that compulsory you need to declare the variable, otherwise it throws error message. Look at there. Place the cursor. Press F8. Look at that. Compile error, variable not defined. A variable is not defined. So in case if you are not using option explicit, if you are not declaring a variable, automatically it takes a variant is the data type. In the starting we discussed in the data types concept, variant is the default data type in the VBA. If you are not declaring any kind of data type, automatically it takes variant. But if you are declaring option explicit in the top of the module, so compulsory you need to declare every variable, otherwise it throws error messages like dim A as integer, dim B as integer. This is also very important because if you are not declaring any variable data types, you can enter anything like it may be numbers, text or any other kind of data also. So compulsory we need to declare the variables so that user can enter exact data, otherwise he can enter different inputs, so that we'll get wrong outputs. So that's why option explicit option we'll use here. Break. Now press F8, say we got the result. So compulsory we need to declare every variable, and we'll see what kind of runtime errors are there here. So here just I want to do another program, subject like ABC, dim A as integer, dim B as integer, A is equal to 10, B is equal to 0, range of A1 is equal to A by B. Look at there. Now I am executing this program. Press F8. See, we got the runtime error, that is 11, division by 0, because anything by 0, infinity, we cannot display the value. That's why we got this error, runtime error. There are hundreds of runtime errors out there. Those are predefined. So it's a string division by 0. You can say end, otherwise debug. Debug means there is a chance to modify this. Again, you can execute. Otherwise, you can say end also. So it will stop the execution if you are using end. And this is called what? Runtime errors. And logical errors. Logical errors, we call it as bugs. These errors also occur during the execution of the VBA code, and later just will check and will correct. But the problem is what? If you are doing logical mistakes also, still we can get the result, but the result will be wrong. Why? Because if you are doing any mistake as logically, the compiler system will not recognize. For example, I want to do max of two numbers. The logic is what? If it is a greater than b, then a is max, otherwise b is max. In case if you are writing a less than b, a is max, else b is max. So the code is okay, but the logic is wrong. So that we'll get the wrong result. So that we need to check properly in the code if there are any logical errors are there. That is a responsible of a developer and a programmer to check the logical errors properly. So these are the three types of errors are there in the VBA: runtime, compile, and logical errors. So normally if you are writing any program and any errors are occurred, by default automatically terminate the program. So where is the error, there itself the program execution will stop. That is called what? Abnormal termination. So when it is abnormal termination, automatically will stop the program and we lost the data. Sometimes the software also may correct. That's why we are using a concept called exception handling. Exception handling. So that means you can handle the errors by using two ways, like there is a error resume next and error go to. Error resume next means if there is any error, it will skip the error and it goes to the next line. Error go to means if there is any error, it will display the error message at a particular point of time. So we'll use either error resume next or else error go to based on your situation. Now we'll see with the example. We'll write the macros for these two, for error resume next as well error go to also. First we'll write the macro for error resume next. Subject, just you can write any subject in, and we are declaring the variables dim orange as range, dim cell as range, and set orange is equal to selection. So every time we are taking the range like A1 to J10 or else from the sheet, but this time I'm taking from the selection. So how much you selected in the Excel sheet, that range will come and it's storing into the range orange variable. Now I'm using for each loop again for each cell in orange, then on error resume next cell dot value is equal to, I'm doing square root of cell dot value, then next cell. See here, just go to the Excel file. We'll write some values here. For example, I'm taking 16, 9 and -2. We'll give some text and 12. So there are values. Just we'll select this. Copy and paste. Copy and paste somewhere else. We'll create duplicate and select these values. Now the selection. So the values I'm selecting 16, 9, -2, text 12 from B3 to B7. Now go to this Visual Basic, close this Project Explorer, locate there. Now press F8. Orange is equal to selection. So that complete selection is coming into the orange variable, that is range. First it takes first cell, that is what B3 it is, which is having 16. Coming to this, square root of 16 is 4. Locate there. We got the 4. And next cell, it is a B4. Square root of B4 9, that is 3 minus 2. See, actually we cannot do the square root for negative values and for the text also. For numbers only will do. So there is an error, but still it will execute. See, there is an error and it do error resume next. It goes to the next cell. Text also same problem, and next 12. So 12 square root of 12, 3.46. Okay, completed, and end of the program. So like this, by using error resume next, if there is any error inside the program, it will skip the error and it goes to the next level by using error resume next. Now we'll take these values, paste here. Again we'll do with another example. Now we'll write another macro for error go to. Subject error go to. Look at the same dim RNG as integer, dim cell as integer, and set orange is equal to selection. So here also I am taking the selection completely, and for each cell in orange. Next on error go to. So here you can give any label name, go to, then label name. That label name should be anything. It's not a keyword. So just I am taking like invalid value colon. After the label name, we'll give the colon. Next, cell dot value is equal square root of cell dot value. Then next cell. Exit subject. Again invalid value. So if it is that, then we'll display the message. For example, message box cannot calculate square root at cell. You can write any message here, and contact name cell dot address. That means we'll get the cell address here. Next you can say resume next. Now we'll execute this program. Press F8. We got the error, that is called compile error, object required. Because this orange is a range, so we need to take the data type as range, but we have taken integer, so range. Here also same thing, cell as a range. Now we'll execute F8, F8, F8. See, square root of 16, 4. Next cell, square root of 9, 3, square root of minus 2. See, it won't execute. There is a negative value, so it goes to the go to label name invalid value. See, it will display the message can't calculate square root at cell B5. Next, because we are coming outside from the loop, that's why I'm telling resume next. Again it goes to the loop. Inside the loop, look at the next cell. Text also same problem, and next resume next 12 square root 3.4641. Next cell completed. The complete range was completed. Next exit subject. We are coming outside from the loop. So like this we'll use this error resume next and error go to, and will handle the errors. That is called what? Exception handling in the VBA. So by using these two we can handle the errors. So apart from this there are many other things like error go to 0, -1. There are other things also, but now I'm discussing only these two important things. Now we'll discuss another very important concept in the macros is pivot table. So this pivot table we'll do manually, otherwise we'll write the code and we'll execute immediately how many times we required. So first of all, what is pivot table? Summarize and analyze complex data into the pivot table. So instead of writing any formulas directly, we'll do all the works like summarizing and analyzing by using this pivot table. First, there is a data. For this data, we'll create the pivot table, names, order amount, and location. First, we'll create the pivot table for this data and we'll take the fields. So in the starting, I'm going to create this pivot cache so that we'll get the pivot table, and later we'll add the fields into the pivot cache. First, go to the developer, Visual Basic, insert module. So we'll write the macro add pivot cache, subject cache. this workbook. I'm taking this workbook. This workbook means where we are writing this code, this module is there in which workbook. That workbook is called this workbook. This workbook dot pivot caches and space underscore, because it is a completely single line. That's what I'm breaking by using space underscore. Next open bracket, source type colon is equal to, here I'm checking Excel database comma space underscore source data colon is equal to range of A1 dot current region bracket close dot create pivot table space underscore and table destination is equal to R4 C and range of A1 dot current region dot columns dot count plus 3. Now I will explain about this program. Just I'm adding this pivot cache source type. I'm taking Excel data where you want to place the pivot table and from where you are taking the data. These two things are important. Source data, so which data you are taking for pivot table. So I'm taking A1 from A1 current region, so that from the A1 it will select entire data and create the pivot table where table destination R4 fourth row and column, so column number range of A1 dot current region dot columns dot count plus 3 locate there. So range of A1 dot current region columns dot count, how many columns? 3 columns, 3 plus 3 6. So in the F column we'll get 1 2 3, 3 plus 3 6, 4 5 6. From there fourth row 1 2 3 4. So here we'll get the pivot cache. Now we'll execute this. So we're adding the pivot cache by taking the Excel database and source data from the A1 current region and table destination fourth row and sixth column. Press F8. Look at there, the complete thing is a single line. Press F8. Now go to the Excel, locate there, it was created pivot cache. Now we can drag and drop the fields into the pivot areas directly, but I'm going to write the macro for this also. Go to the Excel, go to the developer tab, manipulating pivot fields using VBA. Now subject add fields. Okay, here there is one object with object. So instead of writing multiple times, we'll use with object. For example, there is a font. So every time we are writing range of A1 colon G10 dot font dot bold is equal to true. Range of A1 colon G10 dot font dot italic is equal to true. Font dot underline. So instead of writing every time that complete entire line, we'll use with object. So that directly we'll write dot bold dot italic dot size dot name. So instead of writing every time, that is by using with object. So here also I'm using with so active sheet dot pivot tables of 1. So 1 means first pivot table. Okay, just you can observe here in this analyze tab, pivot table name is pivot table 1. It is by default first pivot table only. Otherwise you can mention the pivot table name also. Then I'm taking first row field. Here by using with object again, say pivot fields, that is a name. I'm taking name and that is orientation is equal to Excel row field. See, there are 4 things in this areas. Filters, columns, rows, values. Coming to this Macros VBA, we call it as column field, row field, data field and page field. Row field, column field, page field and data field. So we'll write the code like that. Now here, so orientation is Excel row field, that is the name we are moving the rows, and dot position is 1, because if there are multiple, still this name will come in the top. Next you can say end with for this pivot fields. Next, report filter field, then with dot pivot fields location. I'm checking the second column location. There is again orientation is Excel page field. Next position is 1, then end with. Page field means filter. The location column I'm placing in the filter. Order amount. So this order amount is what? Values. So if it is any currency, accounting, numbers, so completely we need to place inside the values field only. That is called what? Data field. So just add data field space active sheet dot pivot tables of 1. That is first pivot table, and pivot field is order amount. Spellings are very important. If you are giving any spelling mistakes, it won't come. Comma space underscore, and the column name I am giving sum of amount in the data field name, comma, that is we are doing Excel sum, then end with. We'll execute this now. Press F8, that is name row field. We'll see, locate there. Name is in the row field. Again go to this VBA location, where it is in the page field. See, that location is in the page field. Now this order amount I'm placing inside the data field. Press F8, locate there. So that order amount is in the values, that is called data field. Sum of amount will get here. Okay, like this, just will create the pivot table and pivot cache. We'll add the fields into the data areas in the page field, column field, row field, or else data field. But there is a small problem. In the Excel, normally if you are doing any changes, we'll do refresh the data, analyze tab, refresh, otherwise we'll do Alt plus F5 also. But here I want to write a macro for this also. Just look at there, 10 lakhs, some data is there. See, it was not updated. Then go to this analyze tab, you can say refresh, locate there. So that I want to update, refresh immediately. So go to this developer, Visual Basic. Now where is our pivot table? That is in the sheet 1. Double click on sheet 1. The pivot cache and pivot table is in the sheet 1. So double click on the sheet 1, it will open. Now here, instead of general, select worksheet. We'll get this one. Instead of general, we'll select worksheet selection change. That is private subject, subject name, worksheet selection range. In that we'll write a small code. See, active sheet dot pivot tables. That pivot table name you can write 1, otherwise you can write pivot table 1. Just remember one thing, the name you need to know. So which pivot table we are using here in the analyze tab, the pivot table name is pivot table 1. That's why I'm writing like this. Okay, if you have created multiple pivot tables already, the pivot table name will change, like pivot table 1, pivot table 2, pivot table 3. So that you need to give that name also here, and you can change the pivot table name also there. Then pivot cache dot refresh. Now see, don't execute this program, it will execute automatically. Just go there and change here. Locate there. Grace automatically updated. And here if you are giving 100, locate there. Immediately, without refreshing the data, we'll get the values directly, because we wrote some code in the sheet 1 by selection change. So automatically that pivot cache will refresh. Look at the active sheet pivot table. So first pivot table, pivot cache refresh immediately. If you are doing any changes in the sheet, automatically it will do refresh in the pivot table also. So friends, this is what pivot table, but there are many other things also there in the pivot tables. We'll create the filters, we'll create the pivot chart, and we'll create pivot table for the new sheet, multiple columns, writing the formulas in pivot tables. There are many other things also there. Friends, now we'll see how to connect with Outlook by using Macros VBA Code in Excel. First, go to the Visual Basic, then check the module. So in the module, just we'll write a macro to connect with Outlook account. So by using Macros VBA Code, you can connect with the mails like Gmails, Outlook, or else any other applications, and we'll extract the data from the websites also. Now we'll see how to connect with the Outlook account. First, just unchecking a comment, connecting with Outlook application. After that, first we'll check subject name, like unchecking mail workbook. You can check any subject name. Then variable declaration, dim Outlook app as object and dim out mail as object. So there are two variables are required. Those two variables are as objects. Now we'll create the object for Outlook application. Set Outlook app is equal to create object, that is Outlook dot application. Next, set Outlook mail is equal to Outlook app dot create items. So here just we are creating the Outlook application object, and from that we are taking the Outlook items. So that's called as mail items, like to CC, BCC, subject, body, and other Outlook mail items. Now here we'll write error resume next. In case if you got any kind of errors, it will skip the errors. On error resume next. Then by using with out mail. So already we discussed about error resume next and with object also. So instead of writing every time like outmail.to, outmail.cc, outmail.bcc, just we are creating with object here. So that to is equal to, just we are giving some mail ID like excelmap1@gmail.com. Next dot cc, just I'm leaving it as blank. Next dot bcc, this one also leave it as blank. Next dot subject, you can write any subject line here, like I'm writing this is the subject line. Next body is equal, we'll write like hello world. Now we'll check the attachments. Dot attachments dot add active workbooks dot full name. So what is the active workbook? That is mail send. It takes that mail send as attachment. So otherwise, in case if you wanted to take any other paths, you can. We'll check the attachment also. You can add other files by using this. Here I'm placing inside the comments. I don't want to execute this. Here we'll write attachments dot add. Here you can give the path. For example, I'm giving like C drive, C:/ like you can give test dot txt, that any file you can give. Next other two things are there here. You can use dot display and dot send. So dot display means it will display the mail, and if you are using dot send, it will send the mail in the backend without showing us. First we'll write dot display. So this means to display the mail, and if you want you can give the dot send, so it will send the mail directly, so in the backend without showing us. Now that dot send I'm placing inside the comment. I don't want to send immediately. Now just you can write end with. Next, if there is any error, you can write like error go to 0. Next we'll close this Outlook mail and Outlook application by giving nothing. Set out mail is equal to nothing. Set out app is equal to nothing. Look at there. Now we'll execute this program. See, just here in the starting, we're writing this program variable declaration and creating the Outlook object, Outlook mail items. Look at that. Just we're taking Outlook mail items or to CC, BCC, subject, body, attachments. So in the attachments, I'm checking active workbook as attachments. And if you wanted to say other attachments, you can write this code. You can uncomment this line so that you can attach that file also. And dot display, dot send. Dot display means display the mail, and dot send means it will send the mails backend without showing us. Now I will show you. And there is on error go to. If there is any error messages, you will get nothing. And Outlook mail, Outlook app becomes nothing, because if you wanted to use furtherly, then you can say nothing for these two objects. Now we'll execute this program. So before that, you need to connect with the Outlook account. Compulsory. If you have the Outlook account, then only you can execute this. So if it is a first time, it will ask to log in the Outlook account. But if you are already using Outlook account, so it will send the mails directly. Now after completion of the program, now we'll execute this by using F5 or else F8. Just press F5. Now it is executing. Look at there. Just record the display mail. Why? Because we given dot display in the place of dot send. Look at there. To EXCELMAP1@gmail.com, subject attachment mail send dot XLSM and body hello world. So automatically it was taken everything. Then you can click on send. Otherwise, if you are not saying dot display, in the place of dot display, you can say dot send also. So directly in the backend, without showing display mail, it will go automatically. So this is the way we'll connect with the Outlook account. But already I'm using Outlook account, so that's why it is connecting directly. But if you are using first time, it is asking to log in into your Outlook account, like Outlook name, mail ID and password. So then only it will start execution. So that first of all, you need to create the Outlook account. Then after, we'll use this. Friends, now we'll create the reminder mail by using Outlook account. See here, just like credit card bills or else any other things. Just if you wanted to create the reminders, then we'll use this kind of applications. For example, if there is a credit card bill due after 3 days. So before 3 days, just I want to send the reminder to the customer. Then we'll create this kind of things here. So there is a title, first name, last name, mobile number, email address, date of payment and reminder. So if you want to say yes or no and how many days or difference, then we'll get date numbers, that is the date of payment we are converting into the date numbers, and today date we are converting into the today as number. So just we are taking these columns. Now go to the developer, Visual Basic. We'll write the code here. Subject name, reminder, mail, then variable declaration, dim my app as Outlook dot application, dim my mail as Outlook dot mail item. Next, dim my date 1 as date, dim my date 2 as long integer, dim date 2 date 1 as date, dim date 2 as long, and dim x as long. So these are the variables I'm going to use in this reminder mail program. Now we'll write the code. So just here I'm finding the last row, we call it as end of the row. In the starting we discussed already. The sheets of sheet name is sheet 1 dot cells of rows dot count, comma 1 dot end of Excel up dot row. So here I'm checking sheets of sheet 1. In the first sheet, cells of rows dot count, that is 10,48,576 in the first column. Just we are finding the end Excel up dot row. It goes to the last row and it comes to the top. till the data. So the row becomes last row. For x is equal to 2 to last row. Then my date 1 is equal to cells of x comma 6 dot value, because in the 6th column there is a data payment, and my date 2 is equal to my date 1, because my date 1 is date format and my date 2 is integer, long integer format, just we are converting into the number format. Next, cells of x comma 9 dot value is equal to my date 2. So that number, the data payment we are converting into the number format, that number we are copied into the 9th column. Next, date to day 1 is equal to date. So in the date to day 1 variable, just I am taking today's date. Next, date to day 2 is equal to date to day 1. So again that date format we are converting in the number format, and just we are copied to the 10th column, like cells of x comma 10 dot value is equal to date to day 2. Next, we'll take the difference. If my date 2 minus date to day 2 is equal to 3, if the difference is 3, then set my application is equal to new Outlook dot application, set my mail is equal to my app dot create item, that is a Outlook mail item. Next, my mail dot to, just we are sending the mails. In the 5th column we have the mail IDs, x comma 5 dot value. Next, here with my mail dot subject is equal to, I'm giving subject name is payment reminder, and body is equal to, just I'm writing some message, your credit card payment is due, and VB CRLF. VB CRLF is the new line in the Outlook. So if you want to get the new line in the Outlook, we'll give VB CRLF and concatenate. Kindly ignore if already paid, and again VB CRLF. You can write a message like Srinivas. Next, here also I wanted to display the mail, so that's why dot display. And if you want, you can take the dots in also. I'm putting it into the comments. Next, you can say end with. Now we'll take this cells of x comma 7 is equal to display the S, and the cells of x comma 7 dot interior dot color index is equal to 3. Next, cells of x comma 7 dot font dot color index is equal to 2, and cells of x comma 7 dot font dot bold is equal to true, and cells of x comma 8 dot value, I'm giving the difference, my date 2 minus date to day 2. Then you can say end if, and next set my application is equal to nothing, set my mail is equal to nothing. Friends, this is the program. So this is the reminder through Outlook. Completed this program. Again, I will explain once. So just here we are declaring the variables. Dim my app as Outlook application, dim my mail as Outlook mail items. In this, these are the variables. Finding the end of the row, and so just I'm checking second row to end of the row. Just in the 6th column we have the data payment. We are converting into the numbers and placing into the 9th column, and date, today's date we are placing into the 10th column. After converting into the numbers, we are taking the difference 3. If the difference is 3 between these two dates, we'll send the mails to the persons, and we're creating applications like my application, my mails, and we're sending the mails. Those mail IDs over there in the 5th column, and subject, body, dot display, and if it is okay, we are saying in the 7th column yes, and the colors bold, and in the 8th we are displaying the difference. Now we'll start this program execution. So look at there, actually there is a difference is in the second person and the fourth person. Okay, just we'll execute by pressing F8. Look at there. So the difference, so how much it is? This is 44,093. 44,093. So the difference is 0. Condition false. And next X. See here. Date of payment is 44,096. Today's date is 44,093. Look at there. We'll get the difference 3 here. Then we are sending. Look at there. Just we are creating Outlook application, mail items, sending mail to the 5th column, then subject, body, dot display, and see. Say yes in the 7th column, bold, color, the 8th column difference. Look at there. Go to the Excel. See here. The days and yes difference is 3 because we'll get the difference is 3 here, and we got the Outlook account. Look at that tsed512@gmail.com, subject payment reminder. See here, your credit card payment is due. Kindly ignore if already paid, Srinivas Reddy. So there we given VBC RLF, that's we're getting here new line, and you can say send also. Just close this and go to this VBA editor. You can press F5. Look at there. So another one like EXCELMAP@gmail.com for this also, because for that mail ID also there is a difference 3. See, EXCELMAP1@gmail.com. So friends, this is the way we'll create the reminders through mails by using Outlook accounts, so that you can send the mails in the earlier or else in the later to the customers or any other persons. Friends, now we'll convert this Excel file into the PDF format, and we'll send that PDF file as mail attachment. Now we'll see how to create a macro for that. Go to Visual Basic, and here I have created a module, and subject name is like send reminder mail. Then first we'll convert this Excel sheet into the PDF format, and we'll save in one particular location. See here I'm taking chdir, change directory, like folder in the double quotes. So I wanted to place my file on the desktop, in my desktop. C:/user / here Srinivas Reddy. This is my desktop path. I'm giving here /desktop double quotes, and where it is active sheet dot export as fixed format space. The file type is Excel type PDF, and file name is equal to space underscore, because I'm writing the continuous part in the next line. Then again we'll give the path. This path I'm going to give, paste inside the double quotes, desktop / I'm giving like test save dot PDF double quotes comma. Now open after publish is equal to true. So after converting into the PDF format, I need to open this PDF file. So that is open after publish is equal to true. Now we'll create the variable to send the mail, dim outlook app as object, dim outlook mail item as object, dim my attachments as object. Now set Outlook app is equal to create object, that is Outlook dot application. Next, set Outlook mail item is equal to Outlook app dot create item 0. Next, another variable, set my attachments is equal to Outlook mail item dot attachments. Next, we'll go for Outlook mail items by using with, same like previous programs, with Outlook mail item, then dot to is equal to, here I'm giving EXCELMAP1@gmail.com. Next, dot subject is equal to, I'm giving like some data. Next, body is equal to, we'll give some text. The Excel data is attached in PDF format. Next, we'll add this file as attachments. My attachment dot add space double quotes. We'll give the path again. Desktop / test save dot PDF. Next, dot send. So just I'm placing inside the comment because I want to use a dot display. Next, end with again set Outlook mail item is equal to nothing. Set Outlook app is equal to nothing. This is the program. Now we'll execute this program. Okay, we'll see step by step. Press F8. Look at there. Just we're executing this program to convert this Excel sheet into the PDF format. Here I'm checking active sheet. Active sheet export as fixed format. Look at there. So the Excel file sheet converted into the testsave.pdf format, and it was opened after publishing. Now we'll send that file as mail attachment. Same thing. Just we're creating Outlook application object, Outlook mail items, and we're taking attachments. Next, to subject body attachment as this testsave PDF and dot display. See here, EXCELMAP1@gmail.com, subject data attached testsave PDF, and the Excel data is attached in PDF format, that is close this. Now Outlook mail item nothing, Outlook app nothing. So friends, this is a way we'll convert the Excel data into the PDF format, and we'll send that PDF file as attachment by using Outlook application. Here we are using this code. Just we are taking first directory, and we are taking active sheet, and that active sheet we are converting into the fixed format PDF format, and we are taking the path where you want to save and open after publish. True, then it will open the PDF format and you can see the data. Friends, now we'll discuss another important concept in the Macros VBA is user defined functions. So just like Excel functions will create user-defined functions in this VBA also, so that you can access very quickly the works which you want to do regularly. You can create as a function, and that function you can use directly in the Excel. Otherwise, you can use those functions inside the macros to do the work very quickly. So those are called user-defined functions. So you can create user-defined function for any kind of work. For example, if you want to do addition of two values, you can write a function, user-defined function for addition of two values also, or any other things. Now we'll see with different examples how to create user-defined functions. But these are also very useful and very helpful. We use regularly in this Macros VBA for automation purpose. So friends, here also just we'll go to the Visual Basic Editor. Then go to the Insert. We'll check Module. See here, the concept is user-defined functions. Here just I want to do first of all addition of two values as a basic simple user-defined function. Addition of two values. Look at there. So generally, if it is a macro, we'll check subject and subject name, but here it is a function. We'll start with the function and function name. So first function, and the function name is anything except predefined, and in the function it expects some arguments. For example, if it is a VLOOKUP, in the VLOOKUP there are arguments: lookup value, table array, column index number, and the range lookup. So here also, if you wanted to pass anything as an input for this function, you can mention here. Here just I wanted to take two variables, two values like x comma y as integer. Now addition is equal to x plus y. So it's a simple function just I have created in the module so that will execute in the Excel. So here don't use F8 or F5 because this is not for execution purpose. Directly will type inside the Excel. Go to the Excel file. Just is equal to addition. Look at there. So this is just like a defined name, name manager. So here also we'll get these functions. Look at the fx addition. We'll give 20 comma 30. 20 plus 30 we got 50 is equal to addition 100 comma 200. So like this you can give the two values as a arguments, function arguments as a input. So it will calculate addition of 2 and it will give the result immediately there itself. So like this we'll create more user defined functions. So here just we'll take a custom date. So here also same function name I'm taking like custom date without any arguments. Press enter. Now custom date is equal to I'm taking a format, so that is a date format. So in the date first I want DDD. 4 D's means we'll get day, complete day. If it is Sunday we'll get Sunday, Monday means Monday, and space DD MMM double quotes. See here. So we'll get DDD day. If it is January 25th, we'll get 25, and MM means Jan, and here also we'll get. Now go to this Excel is equal to custom date. Look at there, we got the function without any arguments. Just open bracket, close bracket, press enter. Just like today I now functions in the Excel. See Saturday 19th September 2020, because we given 4 D's, 2 D's, 3 M's and 4 Y's. 4 D's means complete day, and 2 D means only 2 letters, 20, 21, like this we'll get. 3 M's we'll get 3 letters. 4 means we'll get complete name. So go to there, look at there. Just in the custom date function we are giving a format. First we are taking as a date, it will get automatically today's date, and DDD. 4 D's means complete name, complete day name, and 2 D's means only number, 3 M's means month, 3 letters, and 4 Y's means complete year we'll get. And we'll do another program like we'll extract the numbers from the text. Now extract numbers, function name, extract num. Just you can give any function name, and I'm checking str is a variable as an argument. Next, length is equal to len of str. Next, for x is equal to 1 to length, and number is equal to mid of str comma x comma 1. So mid means it takes middle of the text to string. Next, if is numeric of number. If it is a numeric, then we'll concatenate that con and space num. Next, and if next x. Now extract num is equal to con. So we cannot execute and we cannot check by pressing F8 here. So first we are finding the length. For example, a length is 20 character. Assume what we are giving as a string. So just assume that length, string length will be a 20 characters, what we are giving as an argument here. So length is 20, takes 1 to 20 characters. In that it takes first character from the string. So x is 1 and 1 comma 1 means it is a first letter. So that first letter we are copied to the num, and we are checking it is numeric or not. If it is numeric, concatenate. And next x, second letter, x becomes 2 comma 1, second character, 3 comma 1, third character, like till 20 characters it will check. If it is numeric, then it will do concatenate. So after completion of this loop, after completion of 20 letters, so how many numbers over there all are concatenated here, then come outside, it will copy that into the extract num. Just go to there. For example, we'll take the numbers from this date is equal to extract name, select this. So we need to get 19, 20, 20. Locate there. We got only numbers. So from the text we are extracting the numbers only. So friends, in this same way we'll do extract text also. Just we'll take only text. See here, extract text. See, you can write in different ways. In the Excel also, a formula you can do in a different ways. So here also just I am using one way, and if you want you can do in other ways also. Function extract text. So here I am giving string str, same dim x as integer, dim ln as integer, dim y as integer, dim con as string, and dim num as string. So just we are taking these kind of variables, that's why I'm declaring here. Then len is equal to len of str. Next, for x is equal to 1 to len. Next, num is equal to mid of str comma x comma 1. Next, if is numeric of num, then y is equal to x plus y. Else con is equal to con plus num. So it means if it is not numeric, then it becomes automatically text. So that's why just I am concatenating with the text. Now say and if next x extract text is equal to con. Locate there. Now go to this Excel is equal to extract text, select this. See, we got Saturday, September. So look at there are two spaces. That space also a character, so that's why we got the space also here. So go to this VBA editor. First we are declaring the variables. We are taking the length, first character. If it is the first character is copied to the num, then if it is a numeric, it will concatenate to the y. If it is not, it will concatenate with the con. So like that, if it is numbers here, if it is text here, it will come. So after completion of all the things, the text were copied to the extract text function, and we'll get the result in the Excel when you are typing this function and giving a string as a argument. So friends, like this you can perform any kind of work by using this user-defined functions. You can write use functions also, use code in that, and you can use those functions in a macros also, so that the work will become very easy, and that macros also will execute within less time. By using these user-defined functions, you can call from different ways also. Friends, now we'll discuss another important concept in macros is creating user forms in VBA. By using this, you can create any kind of applications and will create multiple user forms in the Macros VBA. Now we'll see how to create user forms and how to write the code and how to connect with the buttons. So first here just I want to create a sample user form with the name, address, phone number and age. Go to the developer tab, click on Visual Basic. But once if you wanted to create a user form, we need to go for insert user form. Instead of module, we'll go for user forms. Just will increase the height and width of this user form. Place this toolbox. Okay. In case this toolbox is invisible, hidden, go to the view, select toolbox. You will get the toolbox here. And in the toolbox there are many controls. If you don't know, just place the cursor over there. Look at their label, text box, combo box, list box, checkbox, option buttons. So there are many like a frame and all the things are there. Now in this we'll use labels, text box, and we'll use command button. First we'll take the label. Just draw this. Here I'm typing name and take the text box, draw the text box. Next another label, this time address, and click outside, we'll get toolbox, another text box and another label. Just draw this, single click on this, then you can type like phone number, click outside. See, use only single clicker, don't use double clicker, so it will go to the code window if you are doing double click anywhere in the form. Now text box, draw this text box and another label, age, click outside, go to the text box, draw the text box. Yeah, so this is the form, and in this we'll add the buttons, that is command button. Select, you can write like submit, click outside and select command button again. Just this time we'll draw another command button, type like reset. And if you wanted to set this, just you can select by pressing Ctrl, locate there and go to the format. In the format you can set the alignment, align center, right, middle, so anywhere if you want. Go to this format, align center, locate there. Go to the format, align right, top, middle, and make same size, height and width. Format, horizontal spacing, make equal. Format, vertical spacing, make equal, locate there. Just will get all are equal. And format, say center in form, orange buttons, you can take everything. And this one also, select this text box by pressing Ctrl. Go to the format, align, center, and format, make same size, both, and format, horizontal spacing, make equal, and format, vertical space, make equal. Look at that, already these are all equal, that's why we are not getting any changes. Now in this time, we'll write the code for this user form. Just double click on submit button, look at there, we'll get the code window for this user form, and in that automatically we got a private subject command button. One click, you can change the name also, and we'll write some code. First, just I'm going to find out the end of the row, dim row as long row is equal to sheets of sheet 1 dot range of a and rows dot count end excel up dot row. Next, range of a and row plus 1 is equal to, we'll take text box 1 dot value. See, there are 4 text boxes. So first one is text box 1, second one is text box 2, text box 3 and text box 4. So once after executing this user form, we'll get the user form. In that we need to enter some data into the text box, and after submitting that it will save the data into the Excel. So same remaining also, just select this, you can do copy paste. So in the A here we'll take B, C, D, A, B, C, D columns, and text box 1, text box 2, 3, 4. Next, we'll check text box 1 dot value is equal to blank. After submitting the user form, I need to get this blanks. Again, select this, copy, paste, paste, paste all the text boxes. Second text box, the third text box, fourth text box also. So this code is for submit button. Again, click on user form. We'll write the code for reset also. So after entering the data into the user form, if you want to clear everything, we'll go for reset. Copy this, I'm placing here, locate there. Okay, this is the code. Now go to the user form. Just you can run this. Locate there. We got the user form, and you can type, for example, Srinivas and address and age, then you can submit. Locate there. We got the data in the sheet 1, and you can type manually how much you want the data. Say for example, submit. And see, after typing, if you want to clear this, then you can say reset. And after submit also, the text boxes are going to be cleared. So that's why we are writing some code for that. Just say close and go to the user form. Just you can draw this user form. After double click on submit, you can write this code, and double click on reset, we'll write this code also. But every time we are executing this user form by clicking on this button, but this time just I want to create as a macro. So go to the insert module. Why? Because just I want to assign this to buttons. Just go to the Excel, I'm taking one button, insert, illustrations, shapes, select any one shape, draw the shape, user form, and if you want you can fill with color also. Locate there. Now see, just I'm trying to assign, right click, assign macro. See, there are no macros because these are all user forms. Now we'll place that user form inside the macro, then only we'll get here the macro, and we'll assign that macro to the buttons. Go to the developer and go to the Visual Basic, go to the insert module. Now subject, show user form, I'm taking the macro name. And so what is the user form name? User form 1, user form 1 dot show. Simply we'll write like this, user form 1 dot show, and go to the Excel, just right click this time, assign macro. See, we'll get this show user form, then okay. Now click outside, just click on this, automatically we'll get the user form. You can type any data here, then submit. So like this we'll create a user form, and we'll connect with the Excel, and we'll place inside the macro also. Now we'll create another user form, another simple user form. just go to the Visual Basic, again go to the Insert User Form. Now just increase the size for this also. So first of all, here I'm taking a frame. Just take the frame. We'll change the frame name. And if you wanted to give this names, go to this properties window. You can change the names also. See here, the caption you can change here, frame 1. So here I'm giving Excel map. Look at there. And you can change the names also. Here the caption and name also. So by default we are getting text box 1, text box 2, text box 3. In the place of that you can change the names here also. And we'll check another controls like I want checkbox. So just take the checkbox. I'm writing here Excel and go for another checkbox. I'm taking Word and this time option buttons. Here I'm taking male and another option button. Here I'm taking female. Now we'll take the command button again. Just place the command button here. Just I'm giving submit. Look at there, just we're getting caption submit, and you can change the command button 1 in the place of command button. Now we'll change the name of this command button. Just select this command button, go to the name. Just here I'm giving like student data. Okay, just I'm changing this command button 1 name as student data. Now we'll write the code for this command button also. Just double click. Say previously we got command button 1 click, command button 2 click. Now we got student data click because we changed this command button as student data. Now we'll write the code for this second user form also. First here also we need to find out the end of the row. So here I'm using euro dim euro as integer. Next euro is equal to symbol sheets of this time sheet 2 dot range of a and euro rows dot count of end excel up dot row. Next we'll check whether it is which box we selected, which checkbox we selected. First we'll go for checkbox. If checkbox 1 dot value is true. So if it is true, or checkbox 2 dot value, otherwise we'll go for is equal to false. That means if I'm selecting checkbox 1 and if I'm not selecting checkbox 2, then I'm taking that range of a and 0 plus 1 is equal to checkbox 1 dot caption. So I'm getting the checkbox 1 data. Next same like checkbox 2 also. Just we'll do copy and paste. Copy paste. So checkbox 1 false and checkbox 2 true, then we'll get checkbox 2 caption. And this time both, if both are there, like checkbox 1 true and checkbox 2 also true, then we'll take the data from the both the checkboxes. Now we'll take space underscore here, checkbox 1 caption, and we'll concatenate space and checkbox 2 dot caption. So we'll get the data from the both checkboxes because checkbox 1 true and checkbox 2 also true. Checkbox 1 and checkbox 2 both are true, that's why we are getting both. Now we'll go for this time option buttons. If option button 1 value is true, option button 1 is true, then we'll take the option button 1 range of b and 0 plus 1. is equal to option button 1 dot caption, and if option button 2 dot value is equal to true, then range of B and 0 plus 1 is equal to option button 2 dot caption. So like this just will. Now just go to the sheet 2. So we are in the sheet 2. Go to the Visual Basic. Just run this user form. Look at the Excel, male, submit. Look at the female, submit. Excel, Word, both. Only Word. So like this. So here also we'll assign the button, so that go to the module, subject, show user form 2, user form 2 dot show. Very simple, you can write like this inside the module and go to this, go to the insert, illustrations, shapes. You can take any shape. This time just will take a different shape. I'm taking like a smiley shape. Right click, assign macro, second one, show user form 2. Okay, just click outside, click here, look at there. So you can select, say submit like this, and go to the developer, Visual Basic. So this is the way to generate the user forms in the Excel. And if you want, you can fill the colors also. Look at there. After selecting this, you will get the properties window, and you can apply the forecolor and back color also. Just go there, back color, here. See, there are colors, and go to the palette. You can choose any color. Look at there, and forecolor also, palette, white color. And font also, if you want, you can do the fonts change, bold. You can increase the size, then okay. So like this, you can fill with different colors. Go to there and back color, palette. You can fill with different colors. Look at there. So which color you want, you can fill with that color. So like this is the way to create the user forms, and you can design the user forms. So this is the way only we'll get the user form in the output. Look at there. So just we got this result, and you can change the names of the user forms and all the things. So friends, by using user forms, the work becomes very simple. Why? Because if you are giving this Excel workbook to the person who doesn't know Excel or macros, they can open the user forms, and they can enter the data into the Excel, and they can do all the works what we given to them. So that's why these user forms are very important in the Macros VBA for automation purpose. And we'll create another small sample user form. Go to the insert user form. Here, just I'm taking a small one. Name, text box, another label, address, another text box. Here, and we'll go for command button, submit, and another command button. So this time just I want to close the user forms. So instead of clicking here, just I'm creating button for that. So you can write here close. See, just will increase the height. Yeah, double click this. Now simply you can say unload. Now go to this user form, just run this. See, instead of closing here, you can say close here. Look at there, just run this user form. Normally just by clicking this cross symbol close, it will close. Otherwise you can say close here also. So this option also important. You can place the close command button also wherever you want. Friends, now we'll do 5 real-time scenarios by using this Macros VBA. So here first, just I'm creating a small project like login time and logout time, we'll get the total time automatically. So here we are taking start time and time, we need to get the total time. Here I'm creating 3 buttons, start time, end time, clear content. So already we discussed how to create the buttons. Go to the insert, go to the illustrations, go to the shapes. I'm taking this rectangle, rounded corners, just draw this, and after that you can fill with the colors, just this one also, and here also I'm taking some ellipse shape, any shape, shapes are not a matter. And after that just I'm taking this text, start, end, total time. Now we'll write the macro for this. Just go to the developer, Visual Basic. Now just subject, first we'll write the macro for start time. There are 3, start time, end time and clear. So first I'm taking start time. Next, active cell dot value is equal to time. That means we'll get current time. Now active cell dot offset of 0, 1 dot select. So that means we'll get offset row number, column number, 0th row, first column. That means it goes to the next cell. Now again we'll write the macro for end time, subject, end time. Again same way, active cell dot value is equal to time, active cell dot offset 1, -1 dot select. Next we'll write the macro for clear all. Range of, just I'm taking a range like A6 colon B 1000 dot clear contents. Now we'll assign these 3 macros to the buttons. Go to the Excel, right click on this first shape, assign macro, just select this start time. Okay. Second one, right click, assign macro, end time. Okay. This third one, clear content, right click, assign macro, then clear all, say okay. Now in this total time we'll write a small formula, is equal to if or A6 is equal to blank, comma B6 is equal to blank, comma B6 less than A6, then we'll get nothing. Otherwise B6 minus A6. Look at there, just a small formula here. See, if it is A6 blank or B6 blank or else B6 is less than A6, then we'll get nothing. Otherwise it will do B6 minus A6, that is end time minus start time. Now we'll execute. Place the cursor, start time, end time. Locate there, start time, end time, start time. See, we are giving start time, just I'm clicking on the start time button, we'll get the start time, end time button, we'll get the end time, the total time will get automatically, because we given formula inside this total time, just we given, I have taken this till the end, that's why we are getting that total time automatically when I'm selecting this start time and end time automatically. Now we'll see how it is executing. Look at there, first active cell, this is the active cell. Now A10 is the active cell, in that we'll get the time. Now active cell dot offset 0, 1, 0 row, first column, that goes to the next column, it will select the next cell, locate there and complete this macro. Go to the end time, that is the active cell. Now it is a B10, press F8, in that we'll get the time. And look at there, active cell 1, -1, 1 means next row, -1 means 1 column back, that is we'll get A11 cell, look at there. So like this, and after that you can say clear all, look at there, it will clear everything, that complete data is going to clear. So generally you can select start time, end time, start time, end time. If you don't want, you can say clear contents. So like this you can create a login, logout application. It is very helpful in the offices. So you can count the login, logout times, and automatically it will calculate the total times. You can calculate how many hours are there in between start time and end time, just like our office timings. So friends, like this you can create a number of real-time scenarios projects by using this Macros VBA. Now we'll write a macro for to copy all Excel files from one folder to another folder. So this is also a small project, just we're copying all the Excel files from one folder to another folder, that is source to destination. So that may be different formats, XLS, XLSX, XLSM, XLSB, so different formats. Any format Excel files will copy from one folder to another folder. We'll write a macro for that. Subject copy files folder. So just I'm giving a subject name. Next dim FSO file system object as object, just I'm taking variable. Next dim source path as string, dim destination path as string, dim file extension as string. So these are the variables are required. Next we'll take source path is equal to double quotes. So here I'm taking source. Okay, in the D drive, in the Excel folder, in the source folder, just I'm taking as a source path. So all the files from this source folder will get into the source path, and I'm taking destination path is equal to double quotes. I'm giving like dest. So the folder name is dest. Just you can write any folder name. And I'm checking this file extension is equal to double quotes star dot excel star double quotes. That means it should be dot excel, XLSX, XLSM, XLB, any format, Excel formats. That's why I'm taking the only Excel. Next set FSO is equal to, we need to create the object, create object of scripting dot file system object, and if that FSO dot folder exists, then we'll check source path is equal to false. Then so just I'm checking whether the source path is there or not. Then we'll get this message box. Source path concatenation does not exist. You can write any message. Exit subject, it is coming out from the loop, and you can say end if. Same like this so destination path also. If FSO dot folder exists, destination path is equal to false. Then same like message box destination path and does not exist. Again exit subject. So otherwise both are not satisfied. That means the source path is there and the destination path is there. Now we'll copy the files. FSO dot copy file space source colon is equal from where source path and file extension comma destination path in the destination colon is equal to. So we are taking the destination path in the destination, and message box after successful your files have been copied. You can write some message from where, from source path to destination path, source path and to and destination path. Now in the subject. So this is a program. So we'll see now. First I'm checking the variables like file system object FSO as object, source path as a string, destination path as string, file extension also string. I'm taking source path dxl source, destination path dxl dist, and file extension .xl, and creating the file system object that is called FSO. We are checking that source path is there or not. If it is not there, we'll get the message does not exist, we'll exit from the macro. Same like destination path also, just we'll check whether it is not there, then we'll get error message and we'll get outside from the macro. And otherwise, if both are there, then we are copying from source path to destination path and we'll get the message. Now we'll execute this. First we'll check in the destination. See, locate there are no files. In the source there are few files, 6 items are there. Now after completion of this writing program, we'll execute this. Press F8, say source path, destination path and file extension, creating the file system object, taking the file system object, and we'll check whether this folder is existing or not. Is there, we'll get the false, it goes to the endif. Again same destination path also, the destination path also there, and here also we'll get the false and go to the endif, and it will copy that all Excel files from source path to destination path. Then so we'll get this message, your files have been copied from this path to this path, source path to destination path, in the subject. Now so this is the source path located there, and this is the destination path. Previously this destination folder was blank. Now we copied all the files, Excel files from source to destination folder. So this is the code located there. Just we are taking this file system object to copy the all Excel files from one folder to another folder. This is the way we'll copy the all Excel files from one folder to another folder by using this simple macro. Friends, at the end of this session, you can understand what is Macros VBA and why it is. So till now we discussed just introduction part of the Macros VBA. Again, in that there are many other concepts so that you can do the automation by using Macros VBA. And before starting this Macros VBA, you need to be perfect in advanced Excel also. And if you have some knowledge on SQL and HTML, so that you can connect with the databases and websites also. If you want to extract the data from the website, we need some HTML tags. And if you want to connect with the databases, we need SQL commands and SQL queries also. So if you are good at in that Excel and SQL and HTML, you can do anything by using this Macros VBA. And if you want to learn complete Macros VBA for automation purpose, you can contact us. And in that we'll teach complete advanced Excel Macros VBA also. So if you want to learn complete Macros VBA, before that you need to be perfect in advanced Excel and SQL HTML also. For database connections we require SQL. In that we need commands and queries to connect the databases, and if you wanted to extract the data from that websites, we require HTML tags, so that we need HTML also. So if you are good at in that, you can do anything in the Macros VBA for automation purpose. So in that we'll teach complete Macros VBA. There are hours of video content, and we'll provide quizzes and homework, practicing files, project files, and tasks also with real-time scenarios, and we'll provide one-on-one support also. Friends, nowadays this Macros VBA is very important. So if you go for anywhere in any company, everyone is doing automation. So instead of doing manually, so they are doing automation, so that the manpower also will be reduced. So instead of doing 10 members works, 1 or 2 guys will do by using automation. So that just we need to improve our skill by using this Macros VBA. People are not only working on Excel, they are using Macros VBA also. So just here we'll learn complete Macros VBA, that is for automation purpose. And guys, if you want Microsoft certification also, you can approach us. Along with the course, we'll provide Microsoft certification also. In that there are many levels in the Microsoft certifications, like Excel Associate, Excel Expert, Excel Professionals. Like there are many levels of Microsoft certifications are there. So we'll provide Microsoft certification also. And career opportunities. Just now we discussed about Macros VBA. So outside there are huge openings are there on MIS reporting and for this Macros and VBA developer. So there are huge openings for this Macros VBA outside, because everywhere in every company, it may be small scale industries or also MNCs companies are doing automation, their complete work. So that we require advanced Excel, Macros VBA and SQL also. There are huge openings with good packages. for both freshers and experienced persons. So based on your experience, you will get the packages, and based on your skill also, compulsory, if you go for any interview, they will ask real-time scenarios. So practically, you have to do there. And for this, that Microsoft certification also very helpful. And along with these courses, we'll provide resume preparation, interview questions, real-time projects, and placements assurance also. Guys, if you want, do this course, you can. We'll provide 1-year course validity also. Friends, you can follow us on Facebook, and we have YouTube channel like Excel Telugu videos and EXCELMAP. There also you can watch our complete videos, and you can connect in LinkedIn also. Thank you friends for watching this video. Once again, myself Srinivas Reddy. I'm a Microsoft certified trainer from EXCELMAP.